Welcome to the Day Trading for Beginners podcast. This is season 3, episode 12, and this is going to be the season 3 finale. So in this episode, I'm going to do a portfolio update. We're going to talk about a new trading approach. And then I'm also going to announce that the podcast name is actually going to change in the next season. So I'm Tyler Stokes. I've been on a journey to become a full-time trader since January 2024. And we're approaching sort of the 2-year mark. I've been trading real money for the last 6 months. And at the end of September, I calculated our portfolio updates and we're up 144%. So in the show notes, you can find a link to our Skool group. And in that Skool group, I've actually broken down every trade that I have made. So I would highly recommend that you go and join that group. It's free. You can see my trades. And you can also get access to the trading course that follows the exact strategy that I've used to trade real money and achieve these gains. So you can find a link in the show notes, or you can go to Skool, that's Skool.com/trading, and you can join for free. Okay, so this has been a big month. I'm not going to talk about the specifics of all the stocks. I think if you want, you can find a link and you can kind of go in to where I have a spreadsheet of all the stocks that I've bought and sold and some of my biggest gainers over the last few months. But the portfolio is up and it's up well, and it's because I've been following this momentum strategy. So we had some stocks that have done really well in the last few weeks and months. Tesla has done well. Coin has done well. Some Bitcoin miners that I invested in early when I saw a trend change, those have been doing really well. And out of the 20 or so stocks that I have, we just have 2 losers, and I actually rebalanced out of one that just wasn't going to come back. So I took a loss on that and rebalanced into some other stocks that I felt were more bullish. And we've been talking about some of these bullish stocks in our Skool group. We've been talking about how when some of them have broken the 886 fibs, they tend to go on to all-time highs. So we rotated into Iron, SoFi, and some of these stocks are doing well. So if you want more details of all the specifics and all the percentage gains of every trade and so on, then you can find links to that below in the show notes. But what I wanted to talk about, other than that big portfolio announcement, is just to kind of discuss the time it took me to really start trading. So I'm thrilled with these results. They're great. But at the same time, I started my journey in January 2024, and I didn't really start trading real money till April 2025. And I sort of had the mindset that trading takes a long time. You need to study for 2 years till you see results in a paper trading account. But I've kind of shifted my focus after thinking about what I've accomplished and what I've gone through in the last 2 years. And I think that people can do it quicker. So I took what I call the explorer approach, where I researched a lot. I studied various things. I reviewed a lot of markets and different strategies. But, if I were to look back, it was a bit overwhelming. And honestly, I think it slowed down my progress. So that's why today, if I were to kind of shift gears and start now, I'd take a different approach, starting faster and quicker based on what I know now. So basically, I would take what I call the direct approach. So if I could hit sort of the reset button, I would do things differently to speed up my results. And one of them would be to pick a strategy fast. So I'd first sort of focus on finding a trading strategy as soon as possible, and then forget trying to learn everything else, every other indicator out there, different markets, and things like that. You can always circle back to that and increase your trading knowledge later. But if you want sort of fast results, then it's best to find and pick a strategy right away and then get trading and start paper trading. So pick one strategy that aligns with your schedule and your goal. So what I also didn't realize is that your available time is going to dictate what type of trading strategy you can be successful with. So, if you've got a full-time job, if you've got a family at home, you've got other commitments, then day trading is probably not realistic. You can't be glued to the market every day during live market trading hours. Instead, you might need to look for strategies like swing trading or momentum trading, which I am currently following, which don't require you to watch the market all day. So the key is to research what fits your lifestyle and your schedule, and then kind of dive into the essentials of that strategy and then nothing more. When I first started, I thought trading was really day trading. I wasn't really aware of the different strategies in terms of swing trading, position trading, and so on. So I got started. I reviewed various markets. I did a lot of big knowledge, got a good knowledge base on a lot of topics. But then when I finally jumped into learning the strategy, and I quickly realized that I'm not going to be able to make this work with my commitments, with my young kids at home. The hours aren't just going to work for that specific strategy. So first assess your schedule and then see if you can't dedicate 2 to 5 hours a day to trading, then day trading might not work for you. You might need to shift gears into a strategy similar to what I took. So that would be my first sort of thing that I would do differently. And then secondly, I would basically just learn the essentials and then get practicing quickly. So once you've got your strategy or you found a strategy that aligns with your available time, just focus on the core tools and the concepts that it requires. So skip the big textbook. So I know I recommended that a textbook in the past, and it's not a downfall to get a lot of knowledge regarding different types of trading strategies or different technical indicators, but you're not going to use a lot of that when you dial into a specific strategy. So I would recommend that you don't need to learn every indicator out there or learn every candlestick pattern. Just learn what your strategy demands and then set up a paper trading account and start trading. And then later, over time, you can kind of build your knowledge about trading in general if you want to. But to do it quickly, if I were to start over, I would kind of zero in on just what you need to make your strategy work and then start paper trading. So paper trading is huge because it lets you build confidence and experience without risking real money. The market's always changing. We're in a bull market now, but that's going to change, and just gaining experience. So you can't buy experience. You need to earn it by trading, and you can earn it risk-free with a paper trading account once you find a strategy. And there, over weeks and months of watching various stocks, you're going to understand how the market works, the ebbs and flows, how things kind of break out and then consolidate and maybe pull back a little bit. And to be in the market for several days or weeks, watching that and experiencing that, you're going to build your patience up. And that's going to really help when you start trading real money, because you're going to get less emotional about times when things just consolidate and do nothing for days and weeks or pull back and so on. So you can't buy experience. You need to jump into trading as quick as you can. And that's why paper trading is good. And that's why finding a strategy quickly is good. And then a third step would be to join a community if you can. So the biggest cheat code for success is really joining a group where people are talking about a specific strategy and teaching it. Going at it alone, it's sort of a recipe for confusion and frustration. I learned this back when I was doing affiliate marketing and search engine optimization. Really, I was a part of a group or a mastermind group or just a group online. It was really a game changer for me. I owe all my success in the past to learning from others, people sharing ideas, staying accountable, teaching what works. And you can do that with trading as well. So our Skool community, we've got beginners who are sort of up and running and paper trading in weeks, not months or years like it took me, because they're learning from a proven system, the momentum trading approach. And there's video lessons, there's market analysis, and then there's direct feedback. You can ask questions, share your charts, and you can stay committed to the group as well. So a good community is really going to keep you accountable. It's going to teach a strategy, and it's going to have market analysis based on that strategy. So there are good groups out there. I know the trading community, sometimes there's some spammy or sketchy sort of groups out there, but there are really good ones out there as well. You just need to find one that you can trust and find one that aligns with a strategy that's going to work for your schedule. So those are the three big things. If I would do it differently, I'd jump into a strategy right away, just learn the essentials, and then find a group that is doing that so you can learn from others, share feedback, watch market analysis based on the strategy, and so on. And then the other thing to consider is just to pick something that it's going to work for your schedule and it's going to work for your stress levels as well. So the strategy that I use It's very low stress and it has simple rules. It doesn't require you to watch the market all day. So it's really good for busy people. So I'm going to assume that you're busy, that you don't have several hours a day to do something like day trading. With this strategy, you can spend sometimes as little as 30 minutes a day, sometimes less, just charting your stocks when you have time, setting alerts, making decisions. And then you can put it in limit orders. You don't have to trade live every single day. You don't have to make trades in and out every day either. So the idea here is to buy bullish stocks at support, ride the trend, and ignore the noise from news or market hype. So in the past episodes of this podcast, we talk more about this specific strategy. And in season 4, we're going to do that as well. We're going to explain the strategy, why it's good for beginners, and talk more specifically about stock trading with this specific strategy, because it's what I've been doing and I've been documenting my journey, and my journey sort of led me to this strategy and trading stocks. So I think that's where we're going to move forward to in the coming episodes. And really sticking to the rules, it's the hardest part because trading is so emotional. So if you follow a strategy that's less stressful, that has clear guidelines, clear rules, and you can trade based on your busy schedule, I think you're going to see better results. And I would recommend that you learn more about that strategy. You can come to our Skool group and you can kind of find a whole video course about it. So in the next episode, we're going to talk about the name change, and we're also going to talk about more of the things that I've learned in my first 2 years of starting this journey. So when we come back to season 4, the Day Trading for Beginners podcast, it's going to get, I think, what we call it a rebrand. We're going to shift our focus more on momentum trading. That's been the backbone of my success and what we discuss in our group. And I think it's fitting to make the change because when I started the podcast, as I've mentioned, I thought trading really meant day trading. But I've learned that that's not really the only way. It's not the best way for me. It's not the best way for most people. So our new name will just be Stock Trading for Beginners. Super simple, but it will be, I think, less confusing for listeners and even our new listeners as well. It feels a bit off for me to have a podcast called the Day Trading for Beginners podcast, and I'm not actually day trading. So we'll be tying it closely to the course in our Skool group. And in that group, again, you can learn exactly the strategy I use. And I think that the name change is just going to be better moving forward for future seasons. So to wrap up here, if I started this journey all over again today, knowing what I know, I would pick a strategy really fast. I'd learn just the essentials, and then I would start paper trading as soon as I can. And I'd try and find a community that aligns with my goals and I would stick to this low stress approach, like the momentum trading strategy. That's sort of the path to trading profitably without tons of time wasted on studying or stressful strategies and so on. So if you're not in the Skool group yet and you want more information about the strategy that helped me double my portfolio, you can check out the links in the show notes. And you can also just go to the URL. It's very easy. It's Skool, SKOOL.com/trading. So thanks so much for joining me on this season. I'm looking forward to the next season where we're going to dial in our focus to exactly what I've been doing. And I think it's going to be helpful with the name change. So until then, I will talk with you in the next episode.